military. Don't take that.
Greetings to all of our change makers, and welcome back to another amazing week of interviews as we get to know more and more amazing folks all over the world who are playing a role doing the things that they feel they've been called to do to be able to create a better world for all of us. So today we're so excited to be able to introduce to you Dr. Patricia Rogers. Thank you so much for being here, Dr. Patricia.
Oh, thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much for having me, Cheyenne. This is a nice platform that you have me on. I'm experiencing something new, and I'm intrigued by it. So I'm just kind of looking around, like if you go into a new home, you gotta look around and see where the bathroom is, see where this is, and see where that is. And I'm loving it already. I'm loving it already. Thank you
Well,
again for having me.
very cool. Very cool. Just for all of our listeners and viewers, just so you know, Dr. Pat is, she is the CEO of Unity in Service. She calls herself a visibility strategist, which absolutely, I've seen some of her work and she is all about providing visibility for people everywhere. And I love her tagline, where people need people. So she inspires entrepreneurs to get up, suit up, and show up. And those are some of the most important things that any entrepreneur can do. So, Dr. Pat, we'd love for you to tell us a little bit more about your business and what inspired you to create it.
Wow. I worked 29 years in the corporate arena, 29 years in law enforcement. I did 12 years in the military prior to that. And of course, after all of those years in the arena for, in the corporate arena, then of course the networking piece started to come out and spring about. So a lot of networking groups were springing up everywhere in person, and I started going because I knew that one day I would retire. So I started going to the networking events that were in person all over town, and and at that time I was selling Legal Shield, so I had to get my information in front of others as well as go see what they was doing to get their information out, just to see what they was doing, and I did that quite often while I was working. I made sure that I went to events before my shift started, take my uniform, put it in the car, and and then when I get to work, I change it to my uniform. But it's all about, and I brought that part up, and I laugh at that because it's about commitment. It's about having a burning desire, and I had a burning desire to know what is it that I can do or am called to do when I retire, when I get through helping the corporate arena build their vision. Now, what will I do to build my own? So I had to go hang around with the people who had the information that I needed, and that was networking. And today I'm still networking. And during that time, after I did retire, prior to that, I joined the Women's Prosperity Network, which is an organization that definitely teaches their members a lot about entrepreneurship. And I joined that organization. I joined Bill Walsh, Power Team USA organization. I was just joining what I could join because I wanted what those people had. And of course, I took my first 2 public speaking trainings. And when I did that, I discovered my story, if you will. And Nancy Matthews in the Women's Prosperity Network asked me, she said, so what? Legal Shield is good. She said, but what does Pat Rogers have to give? I couldn't answer that question. So what did I have to do? I did what everybody else had to do. I had to discover my own gifts so that I can turn them into a business. And that's when I discovered my story. And that is, quitting is never an option, because if I quit working with the county, the county in the corporate arena, when I was going through all those disciplinary action reports they was writing me, and all those passing me over for promotions, if I had quit, I would not be getting a six-figure pension today. So quitting is never an option. I don't care what we go through. The light is on the other side of the challenge. And I came out of the organization. I retired, with bells and whistles, big retirement party and all of that. So that is one way that I started this journey. I knew I had to prepare, and preparation is the key to success. So, of course, when I discovered my gifts and talents, that's when I started hosting events, because I was selling Legal Shield. So I hosted events so I could get people in front of me. And I started in my backyard. And I would have 40, 50, 60 people in my backyard. I paid for the food. I paid for the tents. I paid for the chairs. I paid for the DJ. I did all of that. And when I took that training with Women's Prosperity Network and Bill Walsh, both of them told me at different times, they said, you already have a business. All you got to do is monetize. And that's when I started going into hotels. Woo! And I started charging tickets, and the speakers started investing in the speaking opportunity. Why? Because that's what Nancy, Women's Prosperity Network, was doing. That's what Bill Walsh was doing. That's what Eric Zuley was doing. All these people that had platforms that had already excelled, that I was watching and following, pay to play. And so what did I do? I duplicated the process. And I've been hosting events now for over a decade. And I'm loving it, in person and virtual. And I'm having a ball. Our seats are always filled because a lot of people do understand that making small investments, huge investments, whatever kind of investment you want to call it, into public speaking is definitely an investment into your business. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And thus the Visibility Strategist was born.
Yes, absolutely. And we are all grateful that she was, no doubt about it. Wow. Well, and I love the name of your business. What was important to you to put something like unity into the name of your business? Because that's also the name of this particular group that I've created, is it's all about unity. But I'd love to hear your story on that.
I saw that when I joined the group. I saw that. I said, okay, unity. I don't see that much. So kudos to me and you. Yeah, for thinking alike. Unity, I developed that name when I was working. I started my business in 2012 when I would go to seminars and so forth, and they would teach us, the attorneys and stuff, the different people, experts that were there. They taught us how to create our own business. And when that time came, I don't know what it was, but my email, I made it Unity and Service. But one thing about it is everything that we do, and I had no clue about entrepreneurship, really. I was just starting a business, getting the paperwork and all that. But I know for a fact that unity means one. Unity means one. So if we're moving in the same direction, and me being in the military, me being in law enforcement, attending various academies to get the training that I needed to succeed in those organizations, it was always a group of people in the same uniform, with the same shoes, same boots, same clothes, same hat, and lined up very, uniquely. And we all had to move the same way, step by step by step, march by march by march. The right legs all went the same time. The left legs went the same. And that to me have always impressed me, and how effective people look in uniforms, in unity. Gotcha. So that's where it came from. I'm used to uniformity. I'm used to being in units of people who are moving in the same direction.
Nice.
I hope I answered your question.
Oh, I love it. No, that is a perfect answer for sure. That makes so much sense. And thank you for your service as well. You know, both in the military and in law enforcement. Neither one of those are easy these days. Yep. So we appreciate you for all of that. I'm curious though, was there an event? Was there something in your life that caused you to start thinking, apparently before you ever retired, about this whole idea of entrepreneurship? Why in the world did you even want to go down that path after retiring?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Some people tell me you never retired. Girl, you still haven't retired. But in a sense, I did retire from those arenas.
Right.
However, our life is not over until it's over. And when we get through serving other people in these arenas, now we have to discover who we are. Because on a job, all we have to do is what they tell us to do. So you really I didn't get to know who I was. I didn't even get to know the gifts that I had inside of me. I had no reason to know them. All I had to do was read the policy, go to work, follow the policy, do what they say do, get paid, go home. So what made me start on this entrepreneur journey is because 29 years in one place becomes a part of you. And when you know that you're getting ready to lose that connection, common sense tell you got to fill that thing up with something else. What you gonna do, girl? And I'm going in. I get fearful. I was fearful. I didn't know what I was gonna do with my time. They always say I'm a little what you call an Energizer Bunny. I do have a lot of energy, but most importantly, after working 29 years and then 12 years in the military, I have a lot of knowledge that needs to be disseminated.
Yes, you do.
And that's part of our calling, is to share that knowledge with other people. So I knew I had to do something that would allow me to use those gifts and the knowledge and all those things that God has already instilled. That working for corporate America and the Army Reserves and all the other jobs I had before that, those were just stepping stones. Now today, sis, let me tell you, sis, I'm walking in my vision. I'm walking in my passion. I'm living my best life because you know what? I get to do it my way. And so do you. And so do you.
Definitely do it your way. I'm all about that.
And I had no idea what was waiting on me. I had no idea what was coming. But I know one thing, I took it step by step. I prepared. I did what I needed to do because my faith is very strong in God. And he promised us that he would give us the desires of our heart. And he knows what we need even before we ask. So I just walk by faith. And when a door opened, like you called me for this interview, I'm going in. Don't say no to opportunity.
No, definitely not. Well, and I'm curious because you have so much energy. You definitely are an Energizer Bunny, and you always got so many things in the works and so many things in planning. But I'm curious, do you have a big vision? 5 to 10 years out, where's Dr. Pat going to be? What's you going to be doing then?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. I've been getting that question lately. My big vision that I don't talk about a lot, that I see me doing 10 years from now, maybe even sooner than that, as soon as possible. But yes, everything is a process. So every step we take in life is a process. You do one, your creative mind opens up and it creates another vision in your head. So we just keep moving. But my audacious vision and where I see myself in 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, maybe within the next year, I plan on getting into the foster care system so that I can educate some foster kids, because when they walk out of that system at the age of 18, I want to pour into them about this entrepreneur arena that me and you are enjoying.
Yes.
And a lot of things that people need to know to run a business, technology and all of those things. And I figure if I can just help a few of those children along the way, it's not only going to just help them, it's going to be helping the parents that they would possibly go back home to. And most importantly, they can always knock on my door. I'm always be here for them, honey. Because people need people. People need people. So that's my big, big, big dream. My big goal that I am working on. The papers are in my email. And that was on my agenda to fill those papers out today. So she sent me the papers, so I just have to fill them out and do my training. And that's something I've always wanted to do, be a foster care mother.
Oh my gosh. Well, and God bless you for that. We've worked with a lot of foster care kids, and most of the time when we've been working with them, we've been teaching them about entrepreneurship. They want to know, they want to learn. We had a group several years back where they ended up doing their own car wash, their own community cookout, their own flea market, and their own basketball tournament, and they got to take home all the money they made.
Wow.
And and they were so excited because it was the first time that they developed confidence in what they were capable of doing. They even went out and got their own sponsors of the event. They
Wow.
were able to get gift cards from athletic type stores and stuff that they used in their basketball tournament as prizes. I
Nice.
mean, when you give those kids the chance to
Yeah.
really start to see who they are and what they're capable of, it's a magical thing to watch. So if you need help along the way with any of that, you know where to come.
Yeah, I'll probably be talking to you about it. Yes, I will. Because the big event that we have coming up on October the 18th, we're going to do the in-person event. I haven't done it in person since the pandemic. All our events have been online. And I'm stepping my feet back out there and doing a in-person event. And I visualize it right now. I'm gonna have at least about 2 or 3 of them at the table teaching them. They need to, yeah, I mean, that's my vision, so yeah, so yeah, it's just a great feeling when we can pour into other people, because
Wow.
we know our living is not in vain. When
Mm-mm.
we can see the fruit of our labor. And I see that all the time, even just in the virtual events that we host. I see people collaborate, they come together, they start they bond. I don't say much, but I'll just be watching. I'm like, okay, so I'm doing good, my living not in vain. And then there are the challenges, Cheyenne. There
Yes,
are those challenges
there are.
that will
There.
knock you off your feet.
Hmm.
And you know what? The challenges comes through people.
Yeah.
But guess what? People didn't call me. So therefore, I got to keep my eyes on the prize. Got to keep my eyes on the prize because challenges have to come. And
They
they are
do.
going to come through people because they have to teach me. I learned through the processes. Sometimes the challenges, they be the best relationships when you get through the conflict.
Hmm.
I know
Yep.
you know about that. You know, and
It's
most
true.
importantly, just to be able to be an example for those who are watching from afar. You can't let the challenges stop you because those people that's watching from afar, they watching you.
Hmm.
They really want to follow you, and they're following you, and they want to be you. They want to be. It just may not be the right time. So if I quit and jump out of sight for a while because I'm going through something, I just messed up.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely.
I just lost some people that I could have been serving because I quit. No, quitting is not an option.
If you can look up, you can get up, right?
Right. That's right. Yeah.
Wow. Well, Dr. Pat, I know you've got all kinds of things that are coming up. I know we're going to put links underneath these videos you've got an event coming up later this month. You've
Yeah.
got a free gift for people on tips for getting speaking gigs. And you've got your live event coming up back in October. So tell us a little bit more about these things so we can get people excited.
Well, the first event we have coming up is, thank you for offering me that opportunity too. The first event we have coming up moving forward is on May 30th. We have a complimentary seating event that we will be having. It's online. And the name of that event is How Faith Fuels True Business Success. And we are honoring this event to God Almighty for bringing us this far on our journeys. And all of our platforms allow speakers to speak, promote their products and services, and increase their leads so that they can get new clients. So now you figure, how are we going to fit that in there? Well, we got it. You're going to have to come and see. Yeah, but we're doing this one on behalf of our Father. I said,
Wow.
I've had a lot of events, and one day I just got convicted. Say, you know what? God said, you ain't had nothing for me yet. I say,
Oh.
what? I say, what? So all of my speakers on this event, I think we have about maybe 12 speakers or something like that. I don't even remember. Everybody has to start with an affirmation or a scripture that have kept them and carried them,
Mm.
or that they rely on during difficult times.
Mm-hmm.
That's the start.
I like that. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Well, I got my seat. I'm planning on
Oh yeah,
being
you
there.
did get a ticket. You did get a ticket. Yeah, so that's going to be exciting. We always have a solo event vocalist, Jerry. He's I met him in Toastmasters, and he normally sings a song and he plays his guitar. Just let him use his gifts, you know. And yours
Mhm.
truly, I might do a song that day. It's still Mother's Day month. I might sing a tribute to my mothers. I don't know. I'm still here.
Okay.
So we're gonna have a good time. And then we have our next event coming up is going to be in October. Well, we got a couple before that, but October is a big deal for us because we're going to do live at the Doubletree Hotel in Atlanta, Georgia. So
Mm.
that is already booked. We're already promoting that. We are looking for speakers for all of the events that we host. I guess I need to give you my calendar link as well, because if anyone listens to this video
Mhm.
is a speaker, we would love, our fees are very nominal, but the bottom line is you're your biggest investment. And we give
Mhm.
away so much when you speak at these events. You walk away with over 40 some odd or better email list of attendees who actually attend the event. We give our speakers the actual list we export, and all you have to do is import. That's not common. So
Mhm.
we make sure that we give you what you need, and you get it within 24 to 78 hours, 24 to 72 hours after that event, because we want you to make those connections, use the emails, and talk to the people who just heard you speak. And then all of
Yes.
our speakers get a virtual background because we have to protect our platform. We want it to be an experience. And that's huge for us, as well as that is our brand. So we
Yeah.
give those to our speakers with their pictures on it, and then our attendees just get one that has attendees on it. But
Mhm.
when it comes together, remember I told you about uniformity? It looks great. Well, everybody that want to participate, it looks great. It's not mandatory for the attendees, but the speakers must wear or use that virtual background. And of course,
Okay.
we give the speakers a personal promotion so that they can promote themselves to their network with
Mhm.
their picture on it, with all the
Mhm.
information on it. And we, of course, we promote you regardless, because you'd be amazed at some of the speakers that don't even push themselves. So we do what we do. We make that content for us first, and then we give it to the speakers. They can do what they want to do. Tag us, we'll say something. But because when we
Awesome.
post, we gonna tag you. We want
Well,
to make you say something.
and
We
you
have
have
them
a
all.
Facebook group too. Do you wanna let people know about that?
Oh yes, I have a Facebook group as well. Yeah, and in our Facebook group, you can post whatever your business products and services. That's the name of the group. People need people and products and services. So we just try to everything we do, Cheyenne, has to do with edifying entrepreneurs, giving them doors of opportunity.
Love it.
So like I said, and even when we're posting in groups, I want to say this. That to me is a time to practice. Do a live video,
Mm.
practice in the group. That's one of the best places to get good practice. Do a presentation, you know.
Mhm.
So the platform is open to any and everybody that is an entrepreneur. And like I said, there's so many opportunities and things that we can do in a group. People are
Yes.
afraid of doing videos. Well, do it in a group, private group,
There you
and
go.
practice, practice, practice. Then you don't like it, delete it. But
That's
I
right.
guarantee you, if you leave it, somebody gonna like it. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's
And I'm
amazing.
on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter a little bit. I'm on Twitter, I'm on and Instagram.
Okay.
I'm all over the place because I believe that people are everywhere.
Absolutely, and you gotta be visible, right?
Yes, absolutely. You gotta be visible. Yes,
I
thank
love
you
it.
so much for saying that, because that's exactly what we're doing today. And I just really appreciate you for this interview, because I love doing interviews. Why? Because it creates content.
Yes,
And content
absolutely.
is king, video is queen. And it's going on my YouTube channel and on social media.
All right. Well, we will make sure that that can happen for you. And so, as we wind up this wonderful interview today, do you have any words of wisdom you'd like to leave people with?
Oh, wow. Well, what I like to leave with people is that to know that you cannot have success without sacrifice. You
Mm,
got to sacrifice something. You
mm.
got to sacrifice your time, your money. You got to sacrifice your energy. You have to sacrifice your emotions. You have to sacrifice something, because it doesn't just come down and knock on your front door. It hasn't yet. Success has not knocked on my front door yet to tell me, hey, this is success. Here I am. I got to work for that thing, girl. You know, so I've learned that I got to sacrifice something. And sometimes I feel like giving up, resting, in other words, or just lazy lounging. And my mind is telling me, you know what? You procrastinate because you need to go do that agenda. You procrastinate because you need to put up that Eventbrite page. You procrastinate. So I just say, I talk to myself and I convict my own self. Because what I teach on these platforms, it comes back to bite me. Woo!
You better do what you're teaching, right?
And I know you know what I'm talking about, right? Sometimes you get convicted by your own words.
That's a fact.
You know? And the last thing I want to leave is this. People fail not because of a lack of desire. You got that?
Mm-hmm.
People fail not because of a lack of desire. But Cheyenne, people fail because of a lack of commitment. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm Dr. Patricia Rogers, Visibility Strategist, and I am the CEO of Unity in Service, where people need people.
Woo! All right. Thank you, Dr. Pat. You are awesome. And thank you to all of our change makers for tuning in here. And, I'm telling you, if anything that Dr. Pat's got going on resonates with you, if you're a speaker looking for a platform, get in touch with this gal because she will definitely give you all kinds of visibility. So it's been a pleasure. It's been an honor, my dear. And we'll see all of our change makers here in our next interview. Have a blessed day, everybody. Bye-bye.